Okay, this is a supplementary video to my Marine Science section 1.1. And this one here, I'm just going to go over the keywords. If you're new to marine science, especially, or any Cambridge science, learning the keywords, understanding the keywords is, well, the key factor to success. So let's have a look at the keywords that appear in section 1.1. So the keywords here in 1.1 is a lot to do about Earth, place in the universe, and Earth itself. First keyword is our solar system, which is current now our 8 planets and their moons, and who orbit around the central star of the sun. Yes, there are new planets being discovered, but the syllabus just look at the 8 classical here. Then they talk about gravitational pull. It's something we will have to look a lot on when we get to the chapter around tides, and it's basically the factor that any object with mass will have a gravitational pull on any other objects with mass. But since gravity is such a weak force, we don't feel it like between us, but with huge objects like suns and planets, the gravitational pull becomes a very strong force. Orbit is the path an object moves around the larger object. So Earth orbits around the Sun and the Moon orbits around Earth. The axis we talk about here, and you can see it here on the slide as well, is an imaginary line between the Earth North and South Pole. So if you have a globe, this is the axis around which the Earth rotates. A hemisphere is a half circle, so we have a northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere. They're divided by the equator. And the equator is the imaginary line. You can't see it in reality, but it's an imaginary line drawn around the Earth halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole. And this is usually also where we have the highest temperatures. And then we have the tropic. The tropic is the zone north and south of the equator. And it's from the Tropic of Cancer to the Tropic of Capricorn. And this is where we have the sun overhead the entire year. So this is the tropical area of our planet. And we continue with the keywords. Satellite is any object that orbits a planet. So hence, satellites orbit Earth. And then we look at the structure of the Earth. And here again, look at the drawing here. And the ones we're supposed to know are the crust, which is the outmost layer, the mantle, which is the region between the crust and the core, and where we have the hot magma flowing, and we talk about viscous, which is a slowly flowing liquid, which can be melted rock, and we talk about magma, which is the hot melted rock that we see, for example, leak out during volcanic eruptions. Then we have the core, and the core has 2 layers, the outer and the inner core. And this is the hot, dense center of the Earth. Then a few keywords are introduced. We're going to use a lot in the later chapters. Species, which is an organism that can breed and produce viable offspring. Navigation, which is the process of plotting a course from one coordinate to another. And migration, which is the movement of organisms, quite often a large number, from one region to another based on food, season, mating habits, and so on. These are mentioned here because they say here in the chapter that we have many organisms who use the Earth's magnetic field for their navigation. So these were the keywords for chapter 1.1, and it's always a good idea to write them down in your own notes and practice them.